Hello neighbors, welcome to the Help Program's cooking video about eating heart healthy and diets for the elderly, like the DASH diet.
This whole meal is going to be made from food from the Kenai Peninsula Food Bank and is something that you can make at home. We're going to be posting the recipe on Facebook too. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stephen, can you tell us about this dish?
Yes. Okay, we're going to be making a pasta primavera with a roasted red bell pepper marinara.
Ooh.
And we're using a vegetable spaghetti and New York strip steak.
That sounds delicious. Just some general information about diets for the elderly before we get started. You want to make sure you're eating nutrient-dense foods. That means you want foods that are low in calories but high in vitamins, minerals, and fiber. These are foods like brightly colored fruits and vegetables, whole grains like brown rice and oatmeal, fat-free or low-fat dairy products, seafood, lean meats, poultry, eggs, beans, nuts, and seeds.
You also want to avoid empty calories. Those are foods that have a lot of calories but few nutrients. Foods like chips, candy, desserts, soda, and alcohol fit the bill. You also want to avoid cholesterol and fats like animal fats and processed foods. Drinking enough water is really important too. It's good to keep a log of how much you've drank for the day, especially since people tend to lose their sense of thirst as they get older. You want to aim for around 3 to 4 liters of water for men and 2 to 3 liters for women.
Absolutely. So the meal that we're making today follows the DASH diet. It's made specifically to help treat or prevent high blood pressure, which over 60% of people over the age of 60 struggle with. So even if you don't have high blood pressure now, it's good to incorporate a few DASH meals into your week as you age to help prevent high blood pressure in the future. But of course, ask your doctor before making any big dietary changes. The really amazing thing about this diet is that it can lower blood pressure in as little as 2 weeks.
Alright, we're going to start with cooking the pasta first because it takes the longest. Alright, I have boiling water. I add enough portions for 2 people.
Alright.
And we'll let that cook for about 10 to 12 minutes.
Okay.
And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and prep some of the vegetables, which we'll saute in.
So it looks like we've got a really nice arrangement of vegetables here. That looks good.
Lots of pretty colors.
Right? So I know that one of the central themes of the DASH diet is eating less salt. So basically you want to eat only about 2,300 milligrams of salt in a day, which is only about 1 teaspoon of salt. I know it doesn't seem like much, but there are some techniques that you can use to try eating less salt. So can you talk about those techniques, Stephen? I know we're using a few of those in this dish.
Of course, yes. So I like to go with certain ingredients with bold flavors. Onions, garlic, you get sweetness from tomatoes and the peppers, fresh herbs, good extra virgin olive oil, and overall you can also use salt substitute if you really need that salt flavor.
Now I know there are some other ways that you can use less salt, like not adding salt when you're cooking rice, pasta, or hot cereal, choosing fresh or frozen skinless poultry, fish, and lean cuts of meat, choosing plain or low sodium fresh, frozen, or canned vegetables, and reading food labels, and choosing low sodium or no salt added options. You might notice that food tastes a little bit different for those of you at home when you cut back on the processed foods and high sodium foods. So give your taste buds a couple of weeks to adjust.
Leave those whole. And we'll chop this up.
Oh, okay, so you're chopping the basil up too?
Chop it up a little bit. We'll use some for garnish, but I'm going to go ahead and chop some up for the roasted red bell pepper marinara.
All right.
All
right, looks good.
Yeah. Now we'll go ahead and we'll make the roasted red bell pepper marinara. All right, our pasta's done cooking, so we're going to strain it.
All right. Looks good.
Yeah.
And this is a spinach pasta, right?
This is a spinach pasta, correct.
Get your grain seeds.
So we'll let that drain for a second, and in the meantime, we'll start sauteing the vegetables and cooking the steak.
Okay. So you're going to do those separate?
We got our pan hot. I'm going to add some chili pepper olive oil, which is just something I like, a little bit of spice.
Right.
Pan's nice and hot.
I can see the riblets that you talked about in it. Yeah.
We'll go ahead and we'll add some onions.
So is there a particular order that you need to add everything in?
Nope.
All right.
Onions, some zucchini, sweet peppers, and tomatoes. And then we'll add just a pinch of black pepper.
Oh, okay.
Get that nice and coated. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and we'll do some black pepper on the steak. And then we'll also do some granulated garlic.
Okay.
Go ahead and put that in there.
Oh, you do both sides?
Yeah, both sides is good.
Okay.
Plenty of flavor there, especially since we're not using salt.
Right, yeah. Gotta bring out some other
And it all,
flavors.
yeah. And just do as much as you'd like.
Okay.
All right, so our pan is nice and hot. Go ahead and add the steak, and we're just going to cook that to about medium.
Okay. So about how long does that take?
Oh, approximately 7-8 minutes.
Oh, okay.
3-4 minutes on each side. All right, so now that the veggies have sauteed for a little bit, I'm going to add a little bit of garlic.
Okay.
And I add that later just because they brown quickly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll let that go for a little bit. And I'll deglaze the pan with a little bit of balsamic vinegar. That kind of pulls all the good flavors from the bottom of the pan. All right, now we'll add the roasted red bell peppers and the basil that we cut up.
Okay. And you just blended the bell
Yes, I
peppers?
just blended them up.
Okay.
Real simple. Strain them and blend them. Let that cook down a little bit. Go ahead and check the steak. All right.
Yum.
Alright. And we'll come back in a second when everything's done and we'll plate it up and we'll try it.
All right, I'm excited. All right, so while Steven's finishing up cooking, I just wanted to give you guys a good idea of how much you should be eating of each food group. So it's recommended to eat about 2,000 calories a day for most people. And so for that type of diet, you want to have about 6 to 8 servings of grains per day. So that's going to be a serving being about 1 slice of bread or a half a cup of cooked rice or pasta, something like that. And then you want to do 4 to 5 servings of vegetables per day. And a serving is about 1 cup of raw leafy greens, half a cup of raw cut up or cooked vegetables, or a half cup of vegetable juice. And then you want to do about 4 to 5 servings of fruit a day. And 1 serving is going to be about 1 medium fruit, a half cup of fresh, frozen, or canned fruit, or a half cup of canned fruit juice. And then you want to do about 2 to 3 servings of fat-free or low-fat dairy products. So a serving for that is going to be about 1 cup of milk or yogurt, or 1.5 ounces of cheese. And then you want to do 6 1-ounce servings or fewer of lean meats, so like our steak that's cooking right here, or poultry, eggs, fish, or 2 to 3 servings of fat or oils in a day. And then a serving of fat or oils is going to be about 1 teaspoon of soft margarine, a teaspoon of vegetable oil, a tablespoon of mayonnaise, or 2 tablespoons of salad dressing. And then for the week, you want to have about 3 to 4, maybe 5 servings a week of about nuts, seeds, legumes, things like that. And then 1 serving of that is going to be about a 1/3 cup of nuts, 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, 2 tablespoons of seeds, or 1/2 cup of cooked legumes, which is dried beans or peas. And then you want to do 5 servings or fewer a week of sweets and added sugars. So that's going to be 1 serving of about 1 tablespoon of sugar, jelly, or jam, a 1/2 cup of sorbet, or 1 cup of lemonade.
Always make sure to rest your steak for 3 to 4 minutes. That way that all the juices stay inside and not on your cutting board. All right, now that everything's done cooking, it's time to plate and try our dish.
All right, I'm excited.
So I just coated the noodles in a little bit of the sauce.
All right.
Now we'll add some yummy vegetables to the top.
Ooh. Looks really good.
Thank you. All right. The final touch. Can't forget our steak.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The star of the dish, right?
Some steak.
Ooh.
And then we'll do a little chiffonade of basil on top.
All right.
All right, you want to grab some forks?
Absolutely.
All right, now that it's plated up, it's time to try it.
All right, I'm excited. I'm gonna try some of this pasta.
Yeah.
Get some red onion in there.
Mmm.
Mm-hmm. This is really good.
I know it is.
Yeah.
Who knew less salt could taste this good?
Right? All right, so before we sign off, we wanted to leave you with a few last tips for eating heart healthy and diets for the elderly. You want to make eating a social event as often as possible. Drink plenty of fluids, eat less salt, and use more spices. And make sure you're getting enough nutrients. You also want to make sure that you're not eating anything that's past its prime.
When in doubt, throw it out.
All right, I like that. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next week. Until then, let's eat healthy.